Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. People are road me there. So if you hear some background noise, just ignore the background noise and try to focus on my voice as I speak about this breaking news. Shabdon charged with 3 counts of murder. Yeah, I know. A lot of people are gonna say now, SouFLo, you see what me tell you? You see what Sir P say? You see what? Okay, all right. Listen. He's been charged. We're going to get into the details, but listen to this. According to Nationwide News, right? Some details you might not know. Not just he's been charged, but more. Dancehall producer Shabdon has been charged with murder in connection to a triple killing in Rose Heights, St. James last month. Shabdon's given name is Linval Thompson Jr., and he was charged with 3 counts of murder by the Major Investigation Division after he was identified in a parade. He was also charged with 2 counts of shooting with intent as well. A lot of people know right now that he's been charged with a triple murder. They don't know that he was also been charged with 2 counts of shooting with intent as well. Shabdon was questioned in the presence of his attorney and subsequently was charged after. I was waiting for him to be questioned in the presence of his attorney. You know, once them question you in the presence of your attorney is the one who understands the legalities, the loopholes and all that. And his job is to get his client off, right? So the prosecution or the investigators and the law, the police, it's their job to say to your attorney, look, I know you're here to defend this man, but this is what we have against him. This is where they will lay out all the things that they have. Right? And then your attorney will throw his hands in the air and say, well, if that's what you have, we're going to have to take it to court to prove that it's not him. So that's what the charge is. Shabdon was questioned in the presence of his attorney and then subsequently charged. He was arrested on June 3rd by members of the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force while traveling along the North-South Highway in St. Catherine. Shabdon was named as a person of interest in the murders of 27-year-old Chadwell Frazier, 24-year-old Chamario Calvin, and Tonian Reed. Reports are that on May 25th, the 3 who I just mentioned were among 5 people that were shot during a drive-by on Mall Road in Rose Heights. During a drive-by. My question is this. A drive-by happened and masked men did the drive-by. How are you able to identify me in an ID parade? Let that sink into your mind for a minute. It's a question I'm asking which will come up in court. All 5 were reportedly at a birthday party. Heads of Area 1 Police Assistant Commissioner Clifford Chambers says that a major conflict between 2 gangs have been driving a recent spike in murders in St. James. Sources indicate that gang conflict is between the unknown and the G-City gangs. Now, meanwhile, police sources have indicated that Shabdon was captured just hours before he was due to illegally depart from Jamaica. Remember I told y'all, I say I don't swear for nobody, but I ask for proof, right? Now they are saying that they have proof that when they caught him, that what he was doing was in the process of leaving Jamaica. Within a few hours, he would have left. So they got some good tip that told them that he was about to leave Jamaica, and they went and intercepted him. Now you must remember this also. Shabdon didn't have travel papers, legal documents to travel, because those were taken away by the courts. When his lawyer made a request to have his travel documents reinstated, I remember specifically the judge saying something along the lines of, I'm not going to give him back his travel papers. Basically, the judge did say something like this. I don't want to get his hopes up, because his attorney was saying he needs his travel papers, judge, because he is a prominent he's a prominent part of the entertainment industry, and he needs to travel and all that. So the judge is saying, well, what kind of work is he going to be traveling for? Because he's not an artist that performs on stage and all that. He's a producer. He works behind the boards. So when he travels, what is he traveling for exactly? Once the judge started saying stuff like, I'm not giving it back because me no want to get him hopes up and all this. When the judge said it like that, I said to myself, they already decided that they were going to charge him. Hence the reason they wouldn't give back his travel papers. A lot of people have been telling Shabdon, say, yo, leave the island, friend, because they are after you. Well, it looked like him either wait too late, or the means by which he was trying to leave the island was discovered, because that's what they are saying now. They are saying that they have proof that he was going to leave illegally. And it's understood that arrangements were in place for the producer to flee to a small island first before eventually making his way back into the United States. That was the plan. This is intricate details. They can't just make this up and put this out there, right? So obviously they must have. Now again, I'm asking to see those details. Was it written down? Was it in text? Was it in a voice note that was intercepted? Who was making these arrangements? Because he obviously wasn't doing this by himself, if this is what he was doing, right? And again, I will say, the shootings was carried out by masked men. So how was they able to identify him positively in an ID parade from a shooting that was carried out by masked men? Again, I would ask for proof. Who was the person that ID'd him and says, yes, it was him? And what is their connection to the case? You understand? I'm asking the people to think outside the box, and I'm asking you to ask questions, and I'm asking you to ask for solid proof. Some people say, SouFlo, you're going like you want to defend them criminally, because every time them get catch, you act like the police them and make up stuff against the man them. No, I'm not. I want a better Jamaica too. And I've said it in every video before. If you are indeed involved in these things, then you get caught, you go do your time. I'm not defending you. What I am afraid of is people being scapegoated, set up for whatever reasons, and imprisoned, and there is no solid proof, and us, the public, are trained to just go along with it. You understand? So me I look for some solid proof still. Now, sources indicate that several items, including forged documents, were seized when Shabdon was taken into custody. Now, this is what I'm saying. What kind of forged documents were they? Were they forged travel documents that would indicate that he is not the person that is supposed to be carrying these documents? Because he's trying to get away, right? And he's allegedly supposed to go to a small island first and then enter back into the United States of America. You're going to have proper papers to do so. But it could be proper papers that are doctored up, like a fake passport. Like, my name is John Smith, but I have a fake passport that says my name is Devon Thompson. I'm 35 years old, but I have a fake passport that says I'm Devon Thompson, not John Smith, and I'm 39. So my date of birth don't match, my face don't match, the name, everything like that. If it was these kinds of documents that they got seized when he was arrested, then hey, dog nyam him supper, and there's nothing I can say. Me ask for proof. Me want a better Jamaica too. And if the proof they can provide, then I must step aside. You understand? That is my motto. A court date for Shabdon is being finalized right now. Shabdon was recently acquitted of a charge of illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. Recently, and his co-accused, which is 20-year-old Romario Scott, he pleaded guilty and said that the gun was his, not Shabdon's. And he himself was sentenced to 6 years and 1 month totally. He was actually sentenced to 10 years, but some of those years were to run concurrent with the 6-year charge. So he will do 6 years and 10 months before he's able to come out. Now, though at the time of his most recent arrest, Shabdon was actually also on bail, because from the same incident where they pulled over his car and they found the gun in there and Romario took the charge for the gun, in that incident, a police said that he was being attempted to be bribed. Like Shabdon offered him money in the amount of $2 million to make the gun disappear. So the gun was supposed to be taken from, or the car was supposed to be searched. And before the car was searched, he said to the police, him we give him $2 million to make the gun disappear because a gun in the car. Right? And here we are. So, though at the time he was on bail while awaiting trial on a corruption charge, reportedly attempted to bribe a member of the constabulary force in relation to the charge of illegal possession. He wanted them to hide the gun. That's what the charge for that was. Right? So him did that on bail already for that, and he had a live case in the courts which he would have to go to court and answer to. He was not set free. He was set free for the gun because Romario already said the gun was his and took the time for that. But for the charge of trying to bribe the officer for $2 million, he was supposed to go to court to face that. Now, they are saying that in the process of all this, he went and committed murders. This sounds like he was one of the active shooters. How else would they say he was identified positively in an ID parade? Right? But then again, I'm asking you to think, if the shootings were carried out and it was a drive-by shooting by masked men, how were they able to positively ID Shabdon? And if they're able to ID Shabdon, what about the other people that were shooting with him? Because are multiple shooters, right? Now I want to know who else was shooting with him. Who else were they able to positively ID? And also, I want to know about the paperwork. Like, did they find this paperwork, or is this all allegedly? End of the day, I'm going to say this again. This should be a big wake-up call to everybody in the industry. If you're in a certain things, just know say your cookie are going to crumble soon, right? I myself, not into no violence and no gun thing. I carry my gun for protect myself, and I encourage others also to self-defense. That's it. I support self-defense. I don't support violence as far as killing people over things that you could work out and all these other things. If this is gang affair, bad man thing, road thing, I'm all the way out of it. Me no mixing a bad man business, because the streets have a different code of ethics and a different set of rules, laws and regulations than the government does. If you have committed your life to living by street code, street rules and laws, and you say me a gangster for life, then God go with you, because me can't go. And when you're caught up because of that, then God really go with you, because me definitely not trying to go, you know. But in the meantime, I continue to ask for proof, and I will continue to stay close to this one to see how this plays out. But again, I want to ask you, if he was indeed one of the shooters, and this was carried out by masked men, and it was a drive-by, it's not like says I walk up and then walk up and shoot up the people them, and somebody can say, yes, I Shabdon, me sure of him because him even said to me, say blah 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 before him start firing and him kill the youth. Me know say of him. It's different from a drive-by. Drive-by, you never talk to nobody. A car slow down, gunshot fire, car skirps and speed off. So how were they able to identify positively Shabdon? Anyhow, I will stay close. I will continue to do the follow-up to this story. I have no dog in this fight. I have no bones in this matter. I will see where this goes. Me still think something in a something, but I will wait for them to prove me wrong. I will follow this close, and I will keep paying attention to the proof, and I will keep on asking for and looking for proof. Once proof is there, my hands are in the air. I'm out. Catch you on the next video with SouFLoTV. See it there.